Oh my gosh, this update is absolutely impeccable. I can't even consider this an April Fool's joke at this point. That's right, I'm talking about the April Fool's update for 2025 Ranked Mode. Yes, the same update with this being the trailer.
See you soon, I love you. I mean, stupid.
But I promise, this is some of the most fun I've had indoors ever. So let's go over everything they added in the update and how to always get first place in your run. If you want to get right to the tips and tricks on how to win Ranked Mode, skip to the time shown on the screen. Like the video. To become the best at something, you need to know everything there is to know about that thing. So we're going to be going over all the new changes to entities, items, room generation, and the brand new combat mechanics. Let's start with new items because there's a ton to go over. So let's go ahead and start with the one and only Gold Blaster. It's part of the new combat system that they added in the update and does 100 damage to the player's health because the player has 300 health in total. And it's pretty much, it's just a gun. The second item that they have, and it's pretty common to find, is the bomb. You can throw it and after a certain amount of time it explodes and does 50 damage in a small radius. The big bomb is a much larger radius and is harder to find than the bomb, but it does 75 damage. The knock bomb, you can kick it and it knocks players back and sometimes doing some damage. The nanner and nanner peel are really cool because it's a double-used item. Once you eat it, it gives you health, and then once you put down the nanner peel, you can put it in a doorway, for example, and then players slip on it and then it makes them slip. The hiding box is a portable closet, and I think it's a really cool item. It's one-time use, but it can really get you out of a pinch. A90 stop sign for players who are good at the game is pretty easy, and for newer players who aren't good at the A1000 runs, this is hard. Once you hit it, it's pretty rare to find. It spawns A90 on every other player except for you, and if they do get attacked by A90, you get a ton of points. And finally, the most common new item that they added is the throwable prop, which are pretty much just little things like plants, boxes, chairs that you can find all over the hotel, mines, and backdoor, and you throw it at a player to deal 10 damage. Another thing about these items is that they spawn differently from different doors items because you can't open up drawers. So you can find these items just floating in little puffs of blue cloud. It's sort of like guiding light, and they just spawn around floating in rooms or side rooms, and they can be picked up by one player and then they disappear. Other than that, pretty much every other item can spawn, including the starlight items, crucifixes, skeleton keys, which instead of just opening up one door can open up a few, and just all the normal items. Okay, now we've covered all the items, let's go over all the entities that you can find in this mode and how they're different from normal doors. Both Rush and Ambush are in it, and Rush is faster, Ambush is faster, and Ambush only does 75 damage instead of the usual 100. Screech is here and he is quieter, and if you see another character, they can have a 2D little image of Screech next to their head so that you know when another player has Screech, unlike any other mode. Also, Eyes is here and he comes with a brand new ability where he can bounce around the room really quickly, which makes him really difficult to deal with. Dupe, Hide, Dread, and Void are here, with Dread spawning much quicker and Dupe being very rare. Giggle is here and can spawn in any room, and Blitz is also here and can spawn in any room, just like Lookman, who can spawn in any room. Glitch is here, but there's no glitch fragments. Whew, that was a lot of talking. But now to the most exciting thing in my opinion, pretty much what's making this entire floor possible and fun, the brand new movement system. In terms of things that your player can do, there's two new things: jumping and sliding, which are both really big game changers. So first of all, sliding is great when you have a lot of momentum or you're going down a slope like stairs or ramps. Sliding gets you a ton of speed, and it's also really fun to slide down a flight of stairs. And jumping is pretty self-explanatory. Like, you know how to jump, right? Also, all over the floor you can find these little pads that help you with things like speed, and whenever you get it, you, instead of just going fast for a short amount of time, you go really fast for a little bit, and then you keep some extra momentum. It's great, and then you can stack the effects and get faster and faster and faster, and then after you do something like hide in a closet, it restarts your momentum, and it makes a lot of sense. The other pads are health, overboost, and god mode. And another thing I forgot to mention is that there's rooms from the hotel, mines, retro mode, backdoor, and even the rooms. So it's a huge variety. But how do you actually level up? Well, let's talk about the ranks themselves first. So starting with nothing, so noob. Then it goes to starter, then combatant, then soldier, warrior, and then finally boxer, which takes a lot of time to get to. So I'm going to be walking you through ranked mode and giving you a ton of different tips to help you be first place. Starting off immediately, right off the bat, in the elevator, we have our first tip. Always check the front of the elevator through the walls to see if you can pick up any items or props so that you can throw at people or just get some extra points before anyone else has the chance to do that. Once I did this trick and I got a gold blaster immediately and got a lot of extra points from it. As soon as the elevator opens up, your main goal is to get in front of the group or at least be first, second, or maybe third front. This is going to help you get a lot of extra points by opening doors, being the first person to get items, being the first one to open locked doors, and also a hallway trick that I'm going to talk to you about later. About movement, if you see any stairs, you want to definitely slide down them and then stay sliding until there's something like a wall that you can't slide by, or you just lose enough momentum that walking is just better than sliding. Now, since you want to be as far up as possible, you're going to want to get a few rooms ahead. So for a few rooms, you're just going to want to go as fast as you can and make sure to get every single pad you see, as long as it's not too out of the way. This is because they give you a decent amount of points and it's actually really easy to get. And even if a player already uses a pad, it's fine because it regenerates for every single player instead of only being a one-player thing. More on the points, when you get gold, you get a ton of it. So it's a really good idea to, whenever you go through the room, see these little blue outlines, that is gold on the ground. You want to get as much of it as possible because it gets you a lot of points. And at the end, this is one of the things that give you the most XP or the points in general. One thing that I really gotta say that it took me a while to start using this is just use your jumping. You have the jump ability for a reason. It's really good if you get stuck near a railing, just jump over it. Or if there's a little thing blocking your path that would take an extra few milliseconds to cross, which might not sound like a lot, but in ranked mode it is, just jump over it. It's good, it saves a lot of time. Yes, I know these tips are all over the place, but another one that has to do with sliding is don't just wait for a big staircase. At pretty much every single slope you can find, that could be a small staircase, or in the mines when there's a little slope, or one of these rooms that just go way down for no reason at all. Use it. You go a lot faster than you'd actually think. And now, some items that we're going to talk about is the bombs. Whenever you pick up a bomb, whether it's a big bomb, a small bomb, not the knock bomb, that's completely different, is whenever you go through a door and you're in front, throw it up at the door frame, and there's a really big chance that it will go and blow up on your players, and you get some extra bonus points for that. So, since we're already on the topic of items, if you get the stop sign item, save it for a high intense moment, like when there's a node entity coming, like rush or ambush, or something like that, where you have to scramble to do something and get out of the way, and people get a lot more caught off guard like that because they don't want to stop moving. Another item tip is if you have a starlight item and you find one, you gotta save it until sudden death mode because anything can kill you. You're absolutely one shot, and this is one of the only ways to save yourself from it because it gives you extra health. Now, that hallway fact that I was talking about earlier, when you're in a hallway with throwable props and you're in the front or maybe even the back, either way, it's super easy to hit players because everyone's all bunched up and trying to get through. And it's not really easy to miss because it's not having to look back to your side and everywhere because it's just a thin hallway. All you want to do is just as you're running, grab a prop beside you, immediately turn around and throw it, and you have a really high chance of there being people bunched up there. So you will get a prop hit, which counts as 25 points. Really good. So this next hack seems a little bit illegal, and that's because it is. For doors, of course. Only use this if you absolutely need to because it does get very annoying for other players. So if you have almost no points and almost no health, something you can do is just leave so you don't get negative so many points and lose your rank and lose all your hard work. Now, don't do this too much. Only do it if you're going to get like negative 2,000 points, because it can get really annoying for other players, but just keep this in mind as something you can do. A tip that has to do with locked rooms is that guiding light comes immediately, and same with dark rooms. He doesn't come after a minute or two, he comes immediately, and all you gotta do in a locked room is just open up the doors, see if the guiding light is there, and if not, go to the next one and hope that you're the first person to find the key, because it can get you points. Same thing with opening doors, so whenever you're in a dark room with multiple doors, always go to the one with guiding light and make sure at least that it's not dupe, but dupe is very rare, so I wouldn't worry about him too much. And another item tip that I have for you is don't save anything unless it's the Starlight items, because you don't have that long. It's a very quick match, so if you get vitamins, just use them immediately. Lockpicks, use them in the closest locked room. It's only things like the stop signs that you have to save for high intense moments, and the I guess crucifix and the Starlight items. For the banana, I don't know if I said this already, but try to put it down inside of doorways or small areas that all the players have to go through, because it can get you a lot more points, especially when there's a lot of players going through and they can't see, and then they slip on the banana. It's pretty funny and it gives you a lot of points. As you can see right now on the clip, I have 2 knock bombs, and what you can do when you're using it is it knocks every player out in whatever direction is away from it. So if you throw it with your back against the way that you want to go and say a long hallway, it will knock you all the way to the door that you want to go to, and also if there's a player behind you, it will knock them out and give you some extra points. So use the knock bombs to your own advantage and also to your advantage by knocking out other players. In a locked room, if you don't want to get the key, just spend your time at being annoying to all the other players and picking stuff up and chucking it at them. I have a smaller, more obscure tip for only the mine's halt room, but you don't have to spend time looking for the right way. You can go whatever way and then just jump over the gap. And if you're in a room with a side room and a rush is coming or blitz is coming, go into the side room instead of a locker, because there's a big chance of there being items that can help you. Wow, you just watched over 12 minutes of just purely information about ranked mode. Go play ranked mode, have some fun, and win some games. Thank you for watching, and have an impeccable day.